Alright, what's up guys? Fusionx here, and today we're going to take a look at the trailer for patch 2.1, A Realm Awoken. Starting off here we have this warrior walking up the steps to the Crystal Tower, or what will actually be the Labyrinth of the Ancients, and that's in Mordona there. See the group going ahead here and fighting various waves of mobs here. And if you look right here is the Bone Dragon boss right now. And this is where it starts to get interesting. If you look here, we have not one, not two, but three Atomos, or Atomos's cavernous maws, I guess. So the lore for that, I'll be very curious to see that. Here we've got the King Behemoth boss, and then last but not least we have Archeron, who in Final Fantasy XIII was one of the bosses in the Forbidden Land of Eureka. Now, in Final Fantasy III, the Labyrinth of the Ancients was kind of a maze that players had to go through before getting to the actual tower itself. And if you look behind Archeron here, you can see this kind of big doorway with a little crystal and kind of bit behind it, which is probably the actual tower. So chances are that with this patch, while it's, you know, Crystal Tower, the Labyrinth of the Ancients, we may not actually be in the actual tower itself until 2.3. Right here is Wolves Den PvP. We can see this four-man party right here with some of the Crystal Tower gear. New weapons as well, this kind of creepy looking head on a stick staff here, this sword, the bow, and the Black Mage staff here as well. Not sure where those come from, if they're Crystal Tower gear or from some other new content in 2.1. And then we have this group over here, nicely color coordinated, and you can see this warrior right here with the armor. It's the heavy armor, but he doesn't have a helmet on. So not sure if it's new armor or if they're maybe adding a hide helmet option to those heavy pieces of armor or not. Then as they start going at it here, if you watch the warrior, he'll be using the adjusted Holmgang ability, I believe it's called, sorry, where you can kind of pull in somebody with the chain and hold them there to fight them, you know, right there. Next up is housing. I'm going to start with Gordani here. These are the lavender beds. Very much a Windurst feel here with the giant tree in the background there. Then here is the Goblet, which is the housing instance for ULTIMA'S. And then last but not least here we have Mist, which is the housing instance for Limsa that players were able to check out back in beta phase 4. I couldn't really do anything, they just kind of walked around it and said, oh, that's pretty, and that was about the extent of the beta testing. And here you'll see a little bit of a sample of the housing system, where you have your land and you can put the house down, change the outside of the house, change your fence for your yard, and then you can go ahead and decorate the yard with various items. Then we go ahead and move on to the inside of the house here, where they change the flooring, the walls, they change the chandelier there, and they start furnishing it with rugs, various pieces of furniture. They have the Garuda couch that'll pop up here on the right, actually glowing, so that's interesting. We didn't know it glowed before. And next up we have Good King Moogelmog here. The fight in Thorn March is finally back. Now we don't know a whole lot about the mechanics of this fight, if it's mostly copied from its 1.0 version or if it's a completely different fight. It's kind of hard to tell right now, but some things, it's purely cosmetic changes right now. If you look over each of those heads there, their palms are actually different colors now, they're glowing. That'll make it a little easier to tell them apart. Then next up here we have the Beastman Tribe quests. Looks like there might be some cutscenes involved, maybe a little bit of story, which will be nice. This, I don't even know what to make of this. This guy over here. I got a feeling that this is probably what ends up pissing Ramu off and makes us have to fight him, is because we're doing Beast Tribe quests and we're sneaking into their territory dressed up as chocobos. I don't know. And this is cool here. These mounts for these quests here have actions attached to them. So, like for example, right now this Drake is kind of burning this stuff over here. Maybe this is a hint that we'll see a tank Drake mount. I know that back at PAX, Yoshida said that if they were to introduce another class, or rather a role-specific mount, it would probably be for tanks next. So maybe that's a hint at that, maybe not. Here's another mount coming up here with the Gubu. Same kind of idea as the Drake, I think, there, where you can do actions on the actual mount. Here's the treasure hunt system. Gatherers will be able to acquire these maps, so botanist, fisher, and miner. It has a little bit of a new UI element here, showing the little map there in the corner. So it'll show you where the chest is. It looks like you scout or seek or whatever that emote is, the chest will pop up, and then when you go to pop it, the monsters will pop, and then you have to defeat them in order to get access to the chest. Then we have the very stylish esthetician here. They'll give you the haircuts. You'll be able to get your snow and lightning hair now, as well as change your facial appearance. And this speaks for itself, I think, right here. Cannot wait for Hildebrand to come back after his grand exit in 1.0 there. And this is really cool as well. This is Pharaoh Sirius, which is the new level 50 dungeon, which is being said that it'll be the hardest out of all of the level 50 dungeons, the 4 ones. Really cool music, really cool kind of feel for the area here, really nice design. Here's one of the bosses here. We've got this bird looking guy. And then right here we have Siren, which if you guys remember on Aetheryte Radio, I totally called it. Character. I'm wondering if maybe the boss is Siren? Totally called it. There's proof right there. So as you're fighting Siren, this is kind of interesting here too. You have these guys running in on the floor. They're like, and it's hard to tell too, because you know, immediately just the way that they're kind of crawling around, you're thinking zombies. But if you look closely here, they have these pieces of orange crystal kind of embedded in them. And of course, also with the boss being Siren, you know, maybe there's a chance that they're under, you know, her song or her spell or however you want to call it. So lore-wise, that could be interesting to see if, you know, the effects of this kind of crystallized aether here. Now we're going to go ahead and take a look at the 2 hard mode dungeons that are being introduced with 2.1. First up here we have Hawk Manor. And if you look closely here, at the bottom of the initial staircase, you'll notice some wood whalers here, which makes me wonder if there's going to be NPCs fighting alongside of you, or just kind of NPCs in general, just kind of floating around the dungeons. And we'll see a little bit more of this in Copperbell Mines, but something is definitely up in Hawk Manor again, since they sent the whalers in. Those who have fought Hawk Manor before, at the end you'll know there's those lamps during the boss fight that send out those pulses, and this looks like it could be something similar there. And then you have, I don't even know what this is, it's like a demon goat boy gargoyle thing. I have no idea. It's probably one of the mid bosses. Looks interesting to say the least. And next up, we'll move into Copperbell Mines, which has a very hefty population of Spriggans. The Hecaton chairs were the Gigas, look to be out in full force now since they kind of broke out during the initial run of Copperbell Mines. If you look back here in the background while these guys are fighting, there's a miner just going away at this rock, completely ignoring the guys fighting the group of Gigas here, which is interesting, which makes me wonder, you know, I get the feeling that after the adventurers initially cleared out the mines, maybe Olda sent some guys in to check it out. I don't know. This is just... it's a golem, but with a Spriggan on top. So, is this like a Spriggan golem, or is it, you know, what in the hell is going on here? Definitely one of the more interesting monsters here, next to, you know, goat, demon, gargoyle boy. And then here's the final boss here, or what I'm presuming is the final boss for Copperbell Mines. Here's the first shot of Duty Roulette in action here. Duty Roulette is broken down here, as was already announced, into 4 different categories: low level, high level, main scenario, and guild tests. For this trailer, they're showing somebody queuing up here for Duty Roulette low level. And you can see that they are getting a bonus reward and a seal bonus reward. In addition to, right here, you can see 100 philosophy tomes and 10 mythology tomes as well for going ahead and doing that. And here they were getting queued into Stasha here. Next up here we have the Extreme Mode Primal Fights. They've shown these before. Just little clips of each of them here. Garuda. Lots of stuff flying around the screen. Of course, the ads are back here. Titan, which looks to be probably the craziest one out of these new Primal fights. A lot smaller arena, and now there's ads that he spawns. 3 or 4-way knockbacks there, and then he can just stomp you off anyway, so it'll be really fun trying these out and figuring out strategies for this, I think. And there we go. And then last but not least, here we have Ifrit Extreme. And there actually was an Extreme version of Ifrit in 1.0, which was part of the Relic quest line there. And people will be able to do all 3 of these for some type of weapon reward. It sounds like you'll be able to do it once a week. And additionally, it sounds like chests that drop from the Extreme Primals will drop accessories. That was coming out of an interview with Naoki Yoshida with, I believe it was Famitsu. And we have that highlighted up on our website. You can check that out. And here we have Ultima. The Minstrel's Ballad, Ultima's Bane, and you'll be able to flag this from the Minstrel himself. Apparently he got out of jail after Limsa caught him handing out all those free goobos. So really crazy multiple ships crashing into the arena. He's using, of course, Ultima right there. That should be a lot of fun. And then, of course, we have some main scenario stuff. New storyline for the main quest. That should be really cool to get into. We have Minophilia, we have Kane Senna, you know, Sid, Biggs, and Wedge, all those people. And then, in a second here, we have this guy. We don't know who he is, but if you look at the head, Usually for NPCs, especially questline NPCs that are important, they use unique heads, unique hair. We've seen that head of hair on somebody before. We've seen this head. Yeah, it's Nero. Whether this guy in this video is actually Nero or not, we're not sure, but it seems odd that they would take that, you know, that hairstyle and everything that was unique to him and just kind of throw him on some random guy. So, I mean, obviously, there's questions that arise from this. Did we really not kill Nero? Why is he walking around with an Allegan visor by what looks like near the Crystal Tower? Is he actually of Allegan descent when he also has that third eye there, which means he's a pure-blood Garlean? Who knows? Lots of questions, no answers yet, so that'll be very cool to see what happens there. And, of course, the Ascians there at the end. So Realm Awoken, what did I say? A Realm Awoken patch 2.1 coming December 17th. Last but not least here, there's this guy right here, this white-robed Ascian. And we'll point it out here, or Anonymous as you guys might know him. We've actually seen concept art for this before from one of the live letters. So typically when they've shown live letter stuff, and when they've shown, more specifically when they've shown gear, gear is actually for players that's coming out with. So are we going to see this gear? Is it just an NPC? We don't know. But that's the end of the trailer with, as we've already heard, an April 2014 release for PlayStation 4. So there you go. That is the patch 2.1 trailer for Final Fantasy XIV. That's A Realm Awoken. So keep tuned to Gamerscape.com for all the information coming up on patch 2.1. And keep an eye out for the next episode of Aetheryte Radio. And we'll see you next time, guys. Thanks a lot.